They murdered people. We were told they just dumped the dead bodies into the river. I just passed dead bodies. It wasn't a pretty sight. I still see it today in my mind 100 years later. I survived the 1921 Tulsa race massacre, and I have survived 100 years of painful memories and losses. By the grace of God, I am still here. I have survived. I have survived to tell this story. Hopefully, now you all will listen to us while we are still here.
The House Judiciary Committee held a powerful and moving hearing today. That testimony that you heard is only one of the featured survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. Here to discuss it all is Timothy Allen Simon, chairman of the California African American Chamber of Commerce. Timothy, before we get into your personal account from the eyes of your mother and what she lived through, in your opinion, why was it important for a congressional committee to hold this fact-finding hearing with survivors of this event? Because it has happened before on Capitol Hill, and yet not enough was done. And is there a difference with this particular hearing?
Well, I hope there'll be a difference. This was state-sponsored terrorism during the Jim Crow era, and it was targeted towards a very economically vibrant region of Northeast Tulsa, purely on the grounds of race. And it's important to note that this is the first time that an aerial bomb was dropped on the United States soil. African Americans, including my relatives, fought back, but they could not overcome or hold off the strength of the government and the local vigilantes. My family was raised on Greenwood. My mother and her four sisters, my grandmother, Leola Lavasa, God rest her soul, was a resident on Greenwood at the time of the riots. As a child, she often talked to me about that whole historical experience. But I'll also say the pride she had on the rebuilding of Greenwood and how it did not deter the community from the ambition and industriousness that it had, including my grandfather, Matthew Johnson, who built a multi-story building on Greenwood. So there's a rich history, but there's also a tragic history. But it was important to note that the United States government and the local governments of Tulsa there in Oklahoma were the perpetrators of this tragic massacre and conflict that still has its evident scars today by the Judiciary Committee hearing. And that's why that hearing is so important. As our Jewish brothers and sisters say, never forget. Never forget, and never let it happen again. So hopefully this hearing promotes that belief.
Yeah, and to your point, for any of us who have spent any quality time in Tulsa, I myself going to college there, and you, of course, having your mother living there, and you pointed out Greenwood, and the main three streets of the Black Wall Street was Greenwood, Archer, and Pine, and so much history. Here's a new state, and they thought that blacks couldn't do anything, and yet the black Americans moved in and did incredible development with thriving businesses that rivaled their white counterparts, and that led to some of the jealousy that came out in the form of anger and a visceral attack on innocent people. So when you talk to when you recall for me the recollections that your grandparents would talk to you about, and your mother would say what it was like. I know there's the thriving part, but what happened that devastating day that this city was actually bombed?
Well, like many, my grandmother lived and died or transitioned in Tulsa at the time of her death. She was the oldest member of First Baptist Church there. My mother mostly talked about the pride, and my grandmother, who had experienced the devastation and the fact that it was actually staged as some kind of sexual offense or incident between a young African American and a white woman. We see this frequently in state-sponsored terrorism. That, in fact, it was a attack on the economy of Northeast Tulsa, and particularly the Greenwood area. But I want to emphasize that it was never a pity party around our dinner table. It was talk of how we fought back and we rebuilt. And I think that's very important for younger generations to understand that sometimes we are always targeted as victims, and we have been, but it does not mean that we did not put up a valiant fight for our freedom and for the protection of our families.
So much so that they were able to rebuild within a year, and of course the rest is history. They were actually blocked out because of the way they developed the roadways going past that Black Wall Street. Timothy, thank you for sharing that with